First and foremost, Mahesh, thank you very much for inviting me, and sorry for the delay. No monkey came across me. Just it was my
Valentine's Day,
fault.
I presume.
So actually, Mahesh, I think what's important is that we have understood the problem. Everyone in this panel, we spoke about the problems that the country is facing. What's important is now we have to think about the solutions, right? One of the main assets that we have in Sri Lanka is we have 70% of literacy rate. Our human resource is one of the main assets that we have. The question is whether the government is ready to invest in our education system. Example, now what we need is if we want more investments to come to Sri Lanka, and if we are ready to accommodate such investments, we have to have the trust of the people. So what I see is that if we can be an educational hub where we educate our children, and that will lead this country forward. Example, now we are talking about education, but whether the government is ready for private universities like private medical colleges to come up, invest here, where foreign students could come here and study, and even the Sri Lankan students get the opportunity to study here rather than going out of the country. We have around 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 medical students who are going out of the country, and we are losing money. You were talking about dollar exchange rate. I mean, one of the main reason is our students, hundreds and thousands of students going out of the country, and millions of dollars, please let me speak. Yeah. Millions of dollars going out of the country, right? If we could accommodate for our children to study in this country and foreign students to come to our country and study. I'm talking about one sector here, right? We are talking about millions of rupees and millions of dollars, right? So Mahesh, I think the government should open their eyes, right? Broaden their policy in education and open up foreign students to come to Sri Lanka, and likewise the Sri Lankan students to study here. So we could save our money in this country. And as Tanya very clearly said, we have to support the local investors. We have to safeguard our local investors. So I don't know what's the plan that the government has got to safeguard the local investors, because if we are not going to safeguard this local investors, I don't think none of the foreign investors would be have the confidence to come to Sri Lanka and invest. So, getting late to the event tonight. So no, actually, Mahesh, I think we came to a good point where we need to find solutions. That's where I started also. So, to drive the economy, we need to figure out what are the sectors, what's important. Now, when we talk about SMEs, one of the main sectors that we could talk about is tourism. Now, in Sri Lanka, we probably making around $6 billion US per year, whereas when you compare with Thailand, it's around, sorry?
Yeah, then 3.5
yeah.
target.
Used to.
Yeah. So they have gone up to around 16 billion, 20 billion per year. So but when we talk about our tourism sector, we don't get high-end spenders, right? When we talk about agriculture, we don't have a strategy, just like how Dilip said. We don't have a mid-term, short-term, and a long-term strategy. We are not educating our farmers. We are not providing them with new technology. So we are just sitting in the same place, same boat, right? And thinking that our country will thrive, right? Talk about fishermen. Now I'm representing Nigambu, my electorate. Yeah. We are fishing the same way how we used to do it traditionally, right? So I would like to know what's the government's plan, right? If you are talking about bringing more investors, more revenue to the country, we would want to know answers, because so many years these people have lived the same way. As we discussed, the income is the same or rather reduced, right? Expenditure has gone up, but we don't have a driving force with technology, with new strategies, new investments, new plans. So I think that's what we should talk about. Mahesh, I'm also in the same shoe as Banuga, so I'll wrap it up quickly. In fact, I think what's important is that we have to learn from our mistakes. Previous governance, what we saw was, we ended up in bankruptcy. Our foreign reserves went almost to $200 million, and then we ended up in queues. So what we would like to know is what's the government's plan? What's their short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan? Because we cannot afford another crisis. So we have been talking about all sectors in Sri Lanka. All sectors are important, not only one sector per se. All sectors are important, and everyone is still suffering. People are suffering. We can't blame the monkeys. So we have to every day. Yeah. So we have to come out of this. Talk about rice price, talk about coconuts, talk about electricity. We have been facing these issues throughout, so we don't want these issues to be aggravated. We want results, we need solutions, and we have given the government good 3 months or 4, so I think it's time for the government to deliver.